Hey everybody, we are back from Los Angeles from NAMM. It is TRIDENTCast. It's actually the first TRIDENTcast of 2020. Here it is, theme song! Hey everybody, how's it going? Man, okay, right off the bat, Slam Bammy sending us $1, making us drink. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the TRIDENTcast.
Thanks for that money.
Welcome to the live TRIDENTcast. Thank you, Slam Bammy. Ryan just loves that name, Slam Bammy. Thank you, Slam Bammy.
Oh, Slam Bammy.
This one's for you. What's...
Slam Bammy.
Before we, I'm assuming that everybody can hear us. I'm trying a new way of kind of like doing the sound for the podcast. Oh, and there's Tom.
Good morning, sir.
So, Slam Bammy, let me know if you, and everybody else in the chat, let me know if any sound problems occur. What's everybody drinking? What are we drinking? Brett, what are you doing?
I just finished a Nutella by Carbon 4 chocolate hazelnut stout.
Oh,
it's quite good. Brent says he doesn't like it, but Brent's weird, so don't listen to Brent.
All true.
But I'm switching to
cutie.
I'm switching to Three Floyd's Skeleton Witch, the Skeleton Witch beer.
cool.
IPA with lactose.
All right.
That's also what I'm drinking.
Nice.
Aki, what are you drinking?
Old style.
Old style.
Well, at the beer contest, we all thought it tasted okay.
Okay.
So I wanted to... It tastes okay.
Okay.
You know, I gotta say for a shitty beer,
Tastes all right.
It's pretty decent.
I am in true Fangs Metal Beer Club fashion. I am drinking the hoity-toityest one of them all. I've got the Untitled Art Peanut Butter Cup Stout. It is now. I'm just going to cover all this up. This is an Untitled Art, right? What is the ABV of this Peanut Butter Cup Stout? What is the guess?
I mean, from what they normally do, I'm going to guess it's at a good solid 11.5.
11.5.
Gonna be
Aki.
high. I'm gonna say like 9.6.
9.6.
12.6.
12.6.
I was gonna say 11.
Just 11.
Yeah.
Okay. The winner, without going over, is Brett because it is 12%.
Oh,
Exactly.
I went over by just a little.
So if you make me drink in the super chats, then this is going to be great tonight. Super good. So
the Robert the Bruce is also a really good one by Three Floyds. Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely. So hey, thanks for joining us. We just got back. Well, a bunch of us, a bunch of the non-rhythm section just got back from NAMM.
Yeah, well.
And you guys didn't want to go, or didn't, or you
yeah,
did want to go.
Of course,
but you
I wanted to go.
Yeah, you couldn't
Got a
go.
wedding to pay for.
Ah, stupid weddings.
Yeah.
Right? Who needs them?
Hi, Mac.
For those of you who are joining us in the TRIDENTcast for the first time, we're live on the internet right now. We're taking your questions in the chat, and if you send us a super chat, if you hit that little $sign button and you give us any amount of money, that makes us all automatically drink. And we're gonna set a goal for this TRIDENTcast that if we get $10 in super chat, Aki is gonna have his first ever White Claw. He's never had a White Claw ever. And if you get $10, like cumulative, right? So Slam Bam gave us $1. We have $9 to go. If we get $9 over the course of the next hour, plus.
What if someone gives us Russian money again?
Russian money is totally fine. We'll just have to
5 rubles.
How do we convert it?
we'll have to convert it on the fly. We'll have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Hi, Mac.
So
There
send
now.
us the rubles. But yeah, so a bunch of us just got back from NAMM. NAMM is the National Association of Music Merchants, and it is the world's biggest music trade show in Anaheim, California.
National Association of Music Mercenaries.
Yeah, exactly. So, and so I went for the first time last year, and this year the panning is flipped. Yeah, I know, Joe. I'm sorry. It's just it's the way it is. Da-da-na, da-da-na, da-da-na. Better put it in mono. Da-da-na, da-da-na. Yeah, I probably plugged it into the wrong one. So you're coming from like Joe's left ear and right ear or whatever. So
Oh. Okay.
yeah. So anyway, yes, the claw's the law. We actually all appeared on a Claymore track called "The Claw Is the Law," where we were like, "The Claw is the law! The Claw is the law!"
I hope we weren't. That did come out already, so we're not spoiling it.
Oh yeah, it came out a long time ago. Yeah, we did. I just grabbed everybody and I was like, "Hey, shout into this microphone real quick." Joe, I'm sorry, but if I fix it, I'll have to unplug everything, and then it'll pop everywhere, and it's gonna be terrible. So I'm sorry, Joe. I'm not gonna fix it. But hey, Jojo is Daddy. Hey, Jojo. Hey, it's Daddy Jojo. Hey.
I still
Oh,
find
God.
the money element of this so funny. How it's just like, who wants Brent to take his shirt off? I might need.
Nobody.
Well, we got enough to have him take his pants off the
That's
other day.
true.
so-
That is true. I don't think I'm going to be doing it this time. But, if a fan were to send us more underwear, like what happened last time, stuff happens on the internet. And,
Every man has his price tag.
every man.
Money,
Definitely.
money.
So back to NAMM. We went to NAMM. This is my second NAMM, and for Aki and Brian, it was their first NAMM. So I have a lot of stories, but I want to hear from these guys first about their NAMM experience. Tell the people about what NAMM is and how you felt while you were at NAMM.
A convention center full of every conceivable music company and especially the ones you've never heard of.
National Association of Music Merchants. Right?
Music merch.
Music mercenaries, yep. It is really cool. It's really it was fun. It was also really intense and pretty overwhelming. But I think it's also kind of like a who's who of musicians on the world level. And that if you're anybody who's anybody, you hang out at NAMM and schmooze.
Yep.
And there's 10 billion guitars to play, and 5 million amps to try, and every company who's put out any piece of gear ever, you name it, has a booth there, or basically a setup where you go in and walk around and look at stuff and fiddle around. It's 3 floors of a gigantic convention center.
Technically 4.
4, okay.
Because of the basement.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
yep. And then another building on top of it, another.
Oh yeah. And that building has 2 floors.
I'm trying to think of how big that is, like so people around here could get a point of view. I mean, it's the main floor of NAMM definitely is bigger. I don't know how much bigger, but it's clearly bigger than like Alliant.
Oh
here
yeah.
and
Oh,
here.
easily.
By square footage, it's quite a bit bigger.
Yeah.
Even like their convention centers
yes.
over there.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The main floor of NAMM, I don't know if it would be like double our Alliant Energy Center, but it's definitely much bigger.
It felt
and that's
like-
just one floor.
It felt like half a mile. I mean, it felt like it was almost half a mile, really.
I feel like, so if you're at the Alliant and you're at a Comic-Con or a something there,
Yeah.
And they've got the big room opened up, you can still see, you can look and see the walls of the room.
Right.
They might be a ways away, but you could see them. Like, there were times at NAMM where I couldn't see where the outside walls were.
Right.
Like, I could look around. I mean, granted, the booths are also much higher, but like the room goes on for as far as you can see.
Yeah.
Almost.
The first year
So-
I was there, I had to use their built-in app, like for NAMM, because I got lost in the basement and I couldn't find how to get out of the basement. And you think, oh, just go to the like the edge and just start walking around the edge, but it's so big and so long that like I got turned around, I couldn't figure out where the heck
Well,
the
and the
elevators
escalators
were.
are not necessarily along the edge.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
actually kind of in the middle of the room.
Pat, to your question in the chat, I'm getting to that. Let's just yeah. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for the real details.
I did attempt to use, so I put the NAMM app on my phone, and it worked with mixed results.
Yeah.
I did actually take the NAMM survey, and that was really about, in terms of like what could the NAMM team do better. That was really my only thing I put down, was that if we could make your app of locating things and and accessing timetables a little, make that a little more functional, I guess.
Yeah.
Or a little more real time or something. I don't know. I'm sure there are a variety of technical problems that are keeping that from being so. But if they could figure that out, that would be really helpful. That was about my only what could we fix like that.
Yeah.
I agree. I think the search function, especially in that app, it's very disappointing. Like, it's hard for us at times to figure out where our, favorite musicians were playing. Because a lot of them were playing at different, guitar and amplifier company booths and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And you almost often had to go to like a musician's Instagram to find out
Yeah.
where they were playing.
I had to go to Gabriel from Immortal Guardian. I had to like look him up on Facebook to figure out where the heck he was at
Yeah.
when he was doing his thing. So
I
yeah.
think my experience matched Brian's pretty closely. Overwhelming was the word I was going to use. Like, I'm glad I went, but it was definitely like it's a little stressful. Like, it's pretty intense. There's so much noise and people, and the amount of talent. There are all these people that are like 20 years old and they're like at these booths and they're playing their ass off really well.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really cool, and like it's interesting. A lot of the booths had different feels. Like I feel like this year a big thing was like they made a lot of little booths by these companies felt like home interiors. Like a lot of them had like almost like a lounge feel, and they'd have like couches and whatnot for you to sit down and play.
The Seymour Duncan booth almost looked like a log cabin or something.
Yeah, almost had like a log cabin.
I think that was Seymour Duncan.
Gibson, it was,
okay.
yep. And then Gibson and Fender, they had the whole like third floor pretty much, and Gibson's felt like a nightclub. Like literally, it was like one big room with a stage, with bands playing in. It was actually a cool setup in a way. I'm not a big fan of Gibson, especially with the whole bankruptcy thing and the QC issues, but they literally had rows of Gibson Epiphone guitars, and then you could plug in and play them with headphones, and that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And Fender's felt like an art gallery where like it was a mix of these vintage Fenders that you couldn't touch, but then these new ones. Yeah, I think it's like really hard to like choose some highlights. I think is it okay if I talk a little about highlights?
Oh, please.
I think if I were to touch base on some, so Steve Vai has a new guitar. He named it, I think, after his wife, and it has like a different monkey bar grip. It's like 2 teardrop things.
Mm-hmm. It's like the Gem 2, right?
Yeah, it's something like that.
The next model.
So I think like the Ibanez team was pretty on point, and they also released a series of, I think, like headless basses, which makes me think of like Steinberg and whatnot. I actually thought the Fender booth was really cool. I thought it was kind of cool they brought back the original HM, the heavy metal Strat, for limited edition. They also brought back it's called, I think, like the Lead 3 series, which is like a little bit different Strat shaped body. It was really like so many companies did different things and went kind of wild with their booths. I think like some common trends I'm seeing is like lots of like small footprint amp heads and floorboards and whatnot. Orange released the Tiny Terror stamp, and Tiny Terrors are very popular small tube amp that's like this big.
Yeah.
And now they have a floor version of it that has like a tube, and Blue Guitar released a amp version of it, and Line 6 released the Pod on the Go,
right,
which is like their intro Helix. So
that's like that's a big thing that I saw this year, especially, is like a lot of people are doing full packages in like larger stomp boxes.
Yeah,
and Brian does that for a lot of his live shows. He's got what is it that you got?
I have the old school Pod HD 500X.
Yep.
Sure.
Which is definitely considered, it was obsolete the second the Helix came out, and the Helix is headed toward obsolete already at this point. But
did you get a chance to try the Neural DSP?
I did, and I did check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I think the trend is some smaller things, and I noticed it with amp heads too. Like EVH released the stealth version of the little 50-watt head, and I know Mike Fortin, who's like its amp guru and has developed Ola England's signature Randall amp and whatnot, and he released he has his own line of amps. They're awesome, 14 amps, and
they do
he
sound
released
really nice.
Yeah, they're amazing, and he is the guy. And like I want to talk to him. I kind of chickened out, but he was there, and he looks nerdy and fun to talk to. But he has his own little lunchbox amp they just released. It might be like 20 watt. Rev amps they released a high gain version of their little D20, like D20 roll thing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like tiny 15 or 20 watt head amp in it. They actually have a partnership with Two Notes, and their booths were next to each other, Rev Amps and Two Notes. And Jeff Loomis actually played at the Rev Amp booth. And actually, this has a Two Notes IR thing built into it. So you're getting the tubes, but you also can use the IRs for recording, or if you just want to plug directly into PA. So I'm going to go on way too long, but yeah, it was interesting to see all the stuff. I think it was definitely a little daunting. I definitely I think we're pretty humble as a band, right? Like Brian and I are, but like
not me.
I just
I'm the best singer of all time.
I definitely have had many moments of inadequacy because there's so many crazy good musicians.
Right.
It's I think it's easy to kind of get comfortable and live in a bubble, and it's definitely easy to live in this little comfortable bubble that is Lords of the Trident, or even to a greater extent this bubble that's kind of like the Madison music scene,
or just the Midwest in general.
If you want to honestly, expand the bubble even more. And I think it's and you can always like go on YouTube and see 100 guys who can really shred, but then you're completely immersed in it and submersed in it in real time,
and the person's right in front of you doing it instead of on a computer screen,
and they're all there right now.
Oh god.
That's I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a bit intimidated at times too. But I think it's also healthy and good to break that bubble and realize there's a whole rest of the world out there too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think it can be difficult, but it's good and it's important to keep your perspective on where you're at and what you can keep working on.
Yeah. Michi wants to join us on the podcast.
I'll lead this one into you. One of my favorite parts was obviously meeting famous guitarists. If any of you out there follow me on Facebook, I got to snap pics with Paul Gilbert was really fun, and Steve Morse. A handful of guitarists and musicians that I follow on Instagram who are like kind of up and comers.
Yeah, picture with Doug Aldrich.
And let's not forget when Pierre Nilsson crashed our Airbnb because we had pizza. Pierre Nilsson from Scar Symmetry. Oh my God. Yeah.
I'm glad Fang knows his greatness. We are too.
I think it's pretty amazing too that like we met the original guitarist of Cynic.
Yeah.
Who also
Paul
played,
Masvidal.
What? Yeah. Yep. And he also played on one or two of Death's albums. I want to say he played on Human, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But just, it's pretty amazing. And I got to play Strandberg, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. A few shout outs to the people in the chat. Hey, how's it going? Major Air, Stellar Stud, Grin, Jinx. Thanks everybody for coming. We're trying to coax Michi to get up on the couch. Maybe get some of those cat treats that are over there. She'll definitely go wild for those. All right. So now that these guys have laid down their NAMM experience, let me tell you about what happened from my perspective, because I got some stories, I got some gossip, I got stuff to. Oh man, we're gonna dish. It's gonna be great. We're gonna spill the tea.
Have her like
spill the tea.
Yeah,
I'm trying.
Yeah, don't you know what the kids? Oh, there you go. You see
no, I just remember at a show you purposely
girl.
said that.
Yeah. Okay, so get it, Michi. Good girl.
That was my thumb.
Good girl. All right. So
you didn't need that thumb anymore.
I get in Wednesday night. Our mutual friend from Madison, Ryan Tremp, picks us up from LAX, which is an awesome thing to do because he's been driving all day, and then he drives through frickin' rush hour traffic to pick us up at LAX, me and Mary Sweeney, and then takes us to the Airbnb. We get to the Airbnb, and we duck in around like 7:20, and because we're on the SKB team, what's she doing? Because we're on the SKB team, right? SKB gives us an invite to go to their like company party. And of course I RSVP to this because I'm like, oh man, SKB, put your broken life into an SKB case, throw it off of a train, and it'll still be broken, but it won't be any more broken because SKB is the shit. SKB is like the best case. Every time we go on tour, I am always like up until a few years ago when SKB started sponsoring us, I've been distraught because I have not been able to bring my Fabergé eggs on tour. But now that I have the SKB case Fabergé egg holder, dude, I can bring as many Fabergé eggs as I want. I bring my entire collection.
I'll tell you when I've had enough.
Yeah, exactly.
It's full of Fabergé eggs.
Yeah, this is full of... See? He can't do it. Yeah, throw it. You can't do anything to my Fabergé eggs because SKB is like the best fucking cases.
Still good.
Yep, still in there. All right, so the SKB party like ends at 9. Right? Oh no, my eggs! The SKB party ends at 9, right? So I'm like, oh shit, Ryan, we got to get a move onto this thing. And he's like, do you think they're gonna let me in? I'm like, yeah, you know, whatever. Like we're SKB artists, they'll probably I can bend some rules, you know. Just don't you know who I am?
You shit your pants when I'm talking to you.
You shit your pants when I'm talking to you when you're speaking to me. She's really going to town on those, isn't she?
I'm trying to get her to come
Yeah.
here.
So we get to the party and we get there at like I don't know, like 8:15, and they take us on a tour of the factory, which was super cool, and it was just me and Ryan. And all these people in the factory, and we got to see all these like just. That's really entertaining. We got to see all these amazing things. There's so much about SKB cases that are done by hand that like blows my mind. Because it's like you'd think this would be an automated process, but they'd have like people like hammering away on these things. So we get through the end. Yeah, we kind of rush through the tour just because like we want the free booze and the hors d'oeuvres and stuff because we haven't eaten yet. We're hungry, so they shuffle us out into a tent. There's this amazing jazz band playing. Apparently, the president of SKB like jumps in on drums during a song and he like kills it. And they have these amazing hors d'oeuvres, these amazing like cakes and things like that, and free beer, free wine, free booze. So we're drinking and we're having a good time and we're shaking babies and kissing hands. And then the guy gets on the mic and he's like, "Hey, it's 9 o'clock. We're gonna wrap this up. But hey, we have a bus. It's a shuttle bus over there that's going to the Hilton. So if you want to go to the Hilton," and we're like, "Yes," because we took an Uber there. So we jump on this shuttle bus with like 6 other. It's a whole bus, and it's just us and 6 other people. And it ended up being some Yamaha executives, and they're sitting in the front going like, "Oh man, Mr. Yamaguchi's coming tomorrow, but I can't remember how to say hello in Japanese to him." And I'm like, excuse me, you know. And then and we were all like, you know, semi-drunk, and we're just like making friends with the Yamaha executives. I'm teaching them Japanese, and they're like, "I don't think I'm going to be able to remember this in the morning." I'm like, "Well, here's my card. You can go ahead and text me, and I'll let you know." So we get to the Hilton, and this whole time, Ted, the bassist from Thor, is texting me and is like, "Dudes, Thor's being inducted into the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame tonight. Like, I saw you're in LA. Like, can you guys come out to it?" Turns out that's like a mile from the Hilton. So we get dropped off at the Hilton. We take an Uber out to the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame, and I'm looking at the website and it's like $40 to get in. I'm like, you know. And so I messaged Ted and I'm like, "Hey, dude, can she's almost got it." It's like, hey, Ted, is it you know, you think you can get us into this? And Ted's like, "Yeah, I think I could probably get you guys some wristbands." So we show up and Ted's there. He doesn't get us wristbands. Oh no, he gets us VIP passes and a table at the front of the whole place. So we get up there. Thor's there, and bear in mind this is Ryan Schrempf's first NAMM, and in the first 2 hours he's been at NAMM. He's been to like this party. He's got free booze, and then he's going to this Heavy Metal Hall of Fame where. As we walk in, Steve Vai is inducting Joe Satriani into the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame. And then, of course, they both, you know, take out their guitars and they start jamming. And the Jeff Tate from Queensryche like busts out on the stage and they start, you know, playing a cover of Paranoid by Black Sabbath, which they unfortunately did like probably 15 BPM too slow, you know? So it was kind of like... "Finish with my woman, 'cause she couldn't help." And I'm like, yeah, you really got to kind of pick that up a little bit.
Well, the Megadeth version is really fast.
That's the best
So
version
those two like kind of meet in the middle.
Right.
You know, balance each other out.
The one thing I forgot to say, when we left the SKB case party, so they gave us name tags, and they're like, "Oh, check in your name tag at the end of the SKB case party for a present." And we're like, "Oh, it's going to be like a little, like a t-shirt or something." No, it was that Fabergé egg holder right there. They gave us an entire freaking, like, full-ass case at the end of our, just for our name, like this is probably like a $70 value. I mean, a case like that. And inside of it, it said it was a trade show survival kit. They had like Pepto-Bismol and Advil and a granola bar and water and like,
They put the hand sanitizer in there.
hand sanitizer, the whole thing.
Well, Grin, thanks for tuning in, and have a good night.
Oh, yeah. Glad you got to see the cat. So we watched, we weren't there not 2 hours, and we see, we go to SKB Case Party, we have free booze, we go see Steve Vai and Joe Satriani and Jeff Tate, and then we are, like, hanging out in the bar, like, chatting and drinking with Thor and friends the whole night, and then on the ride home, we get an Uber going home, and it's this fat old dude, like, with, white hair, and we're just kind of driving. He's like, "Well, what are you guys there in town for?" And we're here for NAMM. "Oh, it's the music thing, huh? Oh, that's neat. I knew a musician." Blah blah blah. And he's talking, and Ryan and I are in the back seat, and he drives by this place. He's like, "Oh, right over there. See that's the good strip club, right? That's the one with the college girls. So you gotta go with the strip clubs that are by the college." Because you feel like you're helping them with their education. The one over by the river, don't go to don't go to any of the strip clubs by the river because it's just a sad place. I went to this strip club, and he keeps talking about the best and worst strip clubs, and Ryan and I are just in the back, kind of like looking at each other, like, huh.
I like how your cabbie is just like 1/3 Bill Cosby.
Yeah. So literally the next like 20 minutes of the drive home, he cannot stop talking about the best and worst strip clubs. And Ryan and I are just sitting there like, cool.
Yeah.
All right. And we got out of the car, and Ryan looks at me and he's like, what about us like gave away or like said to him, like, these guys are strip club aficionados. These guys want the best. And I'm still thinking about that. Like, question in the chat. Do I give out a strip club vibe? Yes or no? Let me know in the chat.
What you should have done is, like, made it really awkward and uncomfortable and been like, do they have dudes there?
Oh! I couldn't get in a word edgewise with this dude. He was telling me how he picked up a bunch of, like...
Man, get the fuck out of my cab!
Like, former meth heads who had, like... They were employed by a company that tried to find, like, rich, drug-addicted people who were still, like, on mommy and daddy's dime and recruit them for, like, overpriced, like, wellness centers. And so, like, these former meth heads, and he was telling me this story, those former meth heads were sitting on a curb outside of a liquor store, which apparently he was also at, and are like, everybody's saying I have strip club vibes? Thanks.
Yes, thank you, Troy.
All right, cool. So, they're sitting out there, like, on the curb, and he overhears them, apparently, I guess, while he's, like, drinking a beer out of a paper sack, because... That's apparently what you do. They're like, oh, man.
As you do.
I wish we could go to Vegas, but, like, none of us have driver's licenses, and we got all this money, but, like, we can't like, rent a car, because all of it, blah, 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 and we can't, blah, 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 blah. And he's sitting there, and he overhears this, he says, and he's like, whoa, hey, fellas, I could drive you to Vegas for, how about, $400? And he's like, and you know what they did? They gave me $400 each, and I was driving them. I drove them down to Vegas, and I'm like, "How far is Vegas from here?" He's like, "Oh, it's about a 4.5 hour drive, something like that." And I'm like, "Oh, so you made like $100 an hour?" And he's like, "Yeah, it was good." And when I was there at the strip clubs, let me tell you all about the,
Gave it all back.
So I mean, yeah, it was, yeah.
This was an Uber driver?
This is the Uber driver.
What did you rate him?
I gave him 4 stars. Because, like, he had the knowledge about the strip clubs. I'll give him that. And if I were to have asked him about, hey, what strip club should I go to, this was the guy to talk to.
Give you 5 stars if that's what you wanted.
But, like, I didn't ask. Yeah, exactly. No. If I would have asked, hey, what strip club should I go to? And he answered with that kind of knowledge, 5 stars.
Yeah.
But the unsolicited strip club advice...
Non-stop?
Yeah. A little weird.
Yeah, you got the coke and hookers vibe.
Oh, no.
Oh yes.
Okay, nobody
Completely. Oh, sorry.
nobody wants to see me on coke. You don't want me with more energy. I will never touch coke. Like, holy crap! Can you imagine how much shit I'd get done?
Random thing I was just going to say is it was really funny. I think it was like on Saturday. No, it might have been Friday, but Ty, Brian, and I took an Uber. And it was like the nicest Uber driver I've ever met.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was just like, we get in and he's like, anyone need their phones charged? Phones charged. I got some chargers right here.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I got some water and some drinks.
Yeah.
Do any of you guys need water?
Anybody want? And the water was ice cold.
Yeah, right. It was like ice cold.
Ice cold.
Right.
And I don't know how he did it because it was like just sitting
Cool.
down.
Yeah.
And he was,
Cool.
He's just like, water? You want your phone charged? I'll jerk you off. Like, whatever you want. Like, he just kept going. And we're like, no, dude, it's okay. Like, I just jerked off
man.
before this. Like,
Oh, Aki. Good old Aki. So, that was Wednesday night. That was our first night there. We, it was crazy, that first night. Oh, and also, for everybody who's just joining us live right now, the deal is that Aki's going to have his first White Claw when we hit $10 in the Super Chat, like, cumulative for the whole night. So right now we got $1. If we get 9 more bucks, Aki will drink his first White Claw ever. He's never had a White Claw.
That's true.
It'll be live on tape, Aki White Claw review. Just send those Super Chats in, make us drink. So that was the first night. The
Good
rest,
night, Major Air.
the rest of the the rest of the nights, like Thursday night, it was or Thursday day, nothing super special happened.
Other than Aki and I arriving.
Aki and you arrived. We went around, did
Nothing
stuff.
special.
Nope.
No, these fucking guys, not even a strip club worthy. Let me tell you that. The Friday night, I think, was like the first big kind of like whoa kind of moment, because Pierre Nilsson like crashed our Airbnb because Mary told him we were having a pizza party, so he shows up and he's like, I heard you guys are having pizza. Like, I'm standing there at the door. I'm like, come on in, Pierre Nilsson. We have anything you want. Would you like a beer? Oh yes, I would like a beer. What kind of beer do you have? And then Brian tries to talk composition with him. Is like, oh, on blah 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 blah. Like, do you plan out your solos? It's like, no, I just kind of play for what I think in my mind. And then the coolest thing though is that I tried to get him. So I did this. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm sure a lot of people who are watching this have. But if you haven't seen it yet, I put out this big giant interview video with a bunch of people at NAMM. Andrew Huang, Colin Scott from CS Guitars, Mary Z, the guys from Paladin, lots of crazy people. And also, I was on a podcast with Glenn Fricker and Sarah Longfield on the Topless Robot YouTube channel. So check that out, Topless Robot. So I tried to get Pierre Nilsson. I tried to ask him a question on camera, and he was a little like, well, I don't know, maybe. Well, I don't. I mean, maybe, but maybe not. Can I see what questions you would be asking? And I handed him the sheet. I had a printout of all the questions, and then on the second half of the sheet, I had a list of people that I wanted to try to meet while I was at NAMM, and most of them were people I already knew and friends and stuff like that. But a couple of the ones on there, I was like, well, it would be cool if I could meet X, Y, or Z, And I put the Midnight on there. And he's looking at my question. He's just like, what is this, the Midnight? What is that? And I'm like, oh, that's not a question. He's like, yeah, but do you mean the synthwave band, the Midnight? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, dude, the Midnight are the fucking best band right now. I fucking love them. And I'm like, whoa, you know who the Midnight is? Yeah, man, the Midnight fucking rules, man. And I'm like, Aki, come here, Aki. Hey, Pear, could you say that again in front of Aki? And he's like, I fucking love the Midnight. And Aki's like, oh, no.
I can't believe he hadn't heard their first EP. It's amazing.
Yeah, that first EP, Days of Thunder. I mean, I actually have it on the turntable right now, so.
You should check out our cover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Should have gone for the music theory degree. This engineering degree is useless.
Alas.
I don't really know what to say to that one. I have a music theory degree and a composition degree, which is like a music theory degree, really. And I guess I use them, but they don't specifically make me any money per se.
That'll make you engineering money. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
One of these days when the YouTube career takes off, we'll be making that engineering money. Oh yeah.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay. So Perry Nelson was there. Paul Masvidal was there. There was a cool guy from Strandberg.
Kevin Eknes, I believe is how you
Kevin
say his name.
Eknes from Strandberg was there. There was a dude from what was
KSR
it? KSR Amps.
And they brought an experimental power amp.
And this was in our Airbnb,
Yeah.
which specifically said like no parties, no guests, no visitors, no loud noises, and like Perry Nelson, Paul Masvidal, and a fucking like amp manufacturer brings in like carts in a big old amp,
Yeah.
and we're like, oh, okay, guys,
Well,
but just you know,
the head looked like if they painted it a little different, it looked like one of those ghost catchers from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it did.
Like they roll out on the floor, and step on it, and the waves shoot out or whatever.
Yeah.
It looked like that. It was pretty cool.
yeah.
Or
And,
you
like-
would be like, Perry Nelson, you can't come in. Our Airbnb says no.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like Perry Nelson's at my door. Fuck the rules. Like,
Right,
come
yeah,
on, you know.
take the fine if there is one. Like,
Yeah.
And that Strandberg rep was really good, and he played through the freaking KSR amp.
Yeah. Paul Masvidal was gonna play and gonna let people play his guitar, but apparently he had it kind of like plugged in all day and it had active pickups, so the battery was completely dead, which really sucked.
I kind of can't believe how casually he just like let me play around on his guitar.
Yeah. He's a really nice guy. I talked to him about mindfulness and about
Yeah.
like.
Oh yeah, he was very interested in your job.
Yeah. So I work at the Center for Healthy Minds, and we study mindfulness meditation. And he is a very yoga. You know, makes his own jewelry. You know, plays in death. So you know, A B.
I'll
C.
play with you sometime the original Cynic album. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd, you know. It's like very progressive. It's like death metal-y and progressive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it has like robotic, distorted vocals. Like,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
And their drummer just passed away. So
Yeah.
and that has happened since NAMM, not before NAMM.
And the Corrosion of Conformity drummer passed
Yeah.
away. We actually wrapped Brett in bubble wrap during the practice just because we were concerned. You know.
yeah,
So
it was me go spontaneously.
no, don't do that. I've already spent way too much on band promo picks. Like no more.
Yeah.
no more.
No more.
What pick when it says "love the pick"?
He's talking about Schwan.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
His avatar.
Which is
Avatar.
the anime girl having an orgasm.
Well, good. We get all kinds here at the
we have the
Trident
best
podcast.
demographics.
We do. We've got amazing demographics.
We make the best films.
Yep. So that was Friday. And look, okay. So I was really trying to go around and like get these interviews done because I'm like, okay, I got to get this person and this person and this person and this person. On Saturday I went and, or actually was that Friday? Was Friday the choir or was it Saturday? It was Saturday. So Saturday we went. Brian and I went and did this choir thing for all the vocalists at NAMM, which was like 12 of us, you know, basically. It was something that was put on by Voice Hacks, Brian's old vocalist in Luna Mortis. And I don't think I can really talk about it yet, but it is going to be really, really cool when it's done. You'll see me and Brian in there. It's a big... I think what I can say is it's a big collaboration between a bunch of like really, really well-known vocalists. And I'm really excited for it to come out. I'm just, yeah.
There really just not that many vocalists at
No, like what is there for us at NAMM really? You know, like, and that was literally the problem. That's literally the problem for me because it's like, you know, yeah, there's a million guitars, there's a million basses, there's a million drum kits, there's a million like audio engineering stuff, but the shorts be good. But like, you know, what is there for vocalists? Like,
They didn't have like mics to try or anything.
well, they
like
they
that?
did, but like, I'm very happy with my microphone. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not really looking for any new microphones. You know, I spent a lot of time in like the recording area, looking at audio engineering stuff. But
okay.
you know, other than Vocal Mist and a bunch of like, you know, learn to sing apps, you know, there's not a whole lot there for vocalists. Which, speaking of Vocal Mist, I hung out their booth. Vocal Mist is awesome. If you're any of you out there are vocalists and you want to like save your voice on tour and warm up and whatever, like Vocal Mist is totally the way. The pictures I post where it's like me with it, like the vapor coming out of my face with the big old mask, and I go like Vape Nation. Yeah, that is Vocal Mist. It is amazing. So got to talk to them again. They were really, really cool. So Saturday was like the main day. Like we're going around, we're doing this, we do the choir, right? And I'm like, I'm shaking all the babies, I'm setting up all of the thing, like, oh, 3 p.m. Like, let me mic you up. Let me do the blah blah blah. I'm shaking all the babies, I'm kissing all the hands, right?
Be quiet.
Be quiet. Yeah. So like, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, I don't know. Today I don't think I can do, but maybe tomorrow." Like everything's really chill on Sunday at NAMM. Like Saturday's the big day, but like Sunday is super chill because a lot of people just are like, Sunday was not chill, not for me. Holy shit! I was like running from I was filming constantly, and I was like sprinting. To get, like I got a 3 p.m. with Gabriel and Immortal Guardian. I got to get the fucking But anyway. Saturday night, let me tell you, for Pat who asked about Davey 504, Saturday night was where it all came together. Saturday night where stocks went up because Ryan and I wanted to meet with a bunch of famous YouTubers, right? Musicians, YouTubers. Now, here's the deal about NAMM that they don't tell you unless you are friends with like a famous YouTuber or you are a famous YouTuber. Every year, there's like a secret hangout of the musician YouTubers that are at NAMM, and they like change the location, they keep it secret so that people don't, you don't get mobbed. Because I mean, a lot of these people have like 2, 3, 4 million subscribers, and so they like Rob Scallon, perfect example. He's like, I go on the floor for like 30 minutes, and that's all I can do because everybody wants to take a picture. I get mobbed everywhere I go. Everybody knows who I am. So I'm like, okay, all right, fair enough. he's Rob Scallon. They call him Grandpa YouTube because he was apparently one of the very first like full-time musician YouTubers who like set out to do it, and he lives in Arlington Heights, 2 hours away from us, which is crazy.
He's a pretty awesome guitarist too.
Yeah. So, thankfully, we are I mean, anybody who's followed the channel for a while will know this. We're pretty close friends with Sarah Longfield. And we kind of came up in the scene together. So I was on this podcast with Sarah and Colin Scott from CS Guitars, the Scottish guy. He was a frickin' hoot. He was my favorite person that I met there. He was amazing. We drank so much together. Oh my God. He was like, I didn't freaking get the hell out. Like, you're right. You're right. You're right.
So, yeah. Like, space is big, but my dick is bigger.
Yeah.
On my face.
Like a fidget. Yeah.
Like
Simon the Magpie was there. So, okay. So I was on this podcast with Glenn, and Sarah and Colin. And we finished the podcast, and Sarah, for some reason, Sarah and Derek drove to NAMM. Like, from Minneapolis. They drove.
Ugh.
They said they had too much gear with them.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So they're like, oh, we got to get back on the road. We got to leave. This is Saturday night, and I'm like, hey, Sarah, before you go, where's the meetup gonna be like tonight? Where is it? And she's like, oh, hold on, let me text Rob. And I'm like, and yeah, so I found out where the meetup was gonna be. It's like 8 p.m. Tiki bar, come alone, no cops.
Small unmarked bills.
Small unmarked bills.
Non-consecutive.
Yeah.
So Ryan and I were gonna go to this house party thrown by Downtown Brown, but it was like 7:20, and we're like, dude, we got like last year I made it to this party, but I made it there at like 9:30, and I really, really, really wanted to meet Adam Neely, and he was there. But he was there for like 30 seconds, and he was like just done, right? And he's like, I gotta go. I'm super tired. Nice to meet you. Hey, can we take a picture? Yeah, okay. So I'm like, we gotta get there at 8. We gotta get there right when it starts because I want to hang with Adam Neely and like pick his brain on stuff. So we get there at 8, and I'm worried because last year Sarah was there, and she was the one that was like, Hey, Rob, this is my friend Ty. Come. Oh, hey, Davey 504. This is Ty. Yeah, that kind of thing, right? And like, And Sarah was already gone, so I'm like, we're just gonna be sitting in the back looking like creepers, like nobody knows who we are, and so we roll up, and thankfully Colin is there, and there's a bar, so we're like, hey Colin, you know, you want to get a drink? He's, fucking done right, you did it, fucking over there, you know, and so we, you know, both Ryan and I open up tabs at the bar, and like I will say, at the end of the night, we both had like $250 bar tabs because A, LA, and B, it's a bar, you know, at one of the resorts, and we were buying drinks for everybody, and so the first person that rolls up, boom, Adam Neely, and I'm like, yes, you know, and I'm like, Adam, hey, we met last year, you know, good to see you again, blah blah blah, and Ryan is just starstruck because he loves Adam Neely, and Adam is like, hey guys, I'm really tired, I gotta go, but it was great meeting you, and I'm like, and I go, hey, we had 30 seconds last year. 30 seconds this year. Maybe next year we can make 45. He's like, I'd really like that. That'd be great. So he took a couple pictures and he left. Pat, I will unfortunately let you know that Davey504 did not make it to NAMM this year. He made it last year, but he did not make it this year. So I didn't get to meet Davey. And I'm sure he's very, very tall in real life.
Just says slap every other word.
Yeah, slap. So we're sitting there. You know, Mary Spender rolls up. And Andrew Huang is over in the corner, right? And he's like talking with a group of like 5 other people who are all YouTubers who I kind of sort of recognize, but I can't like, you know, say their names, like, oh, that's blah 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 and blah blah blah. So he's talking, and Ryan is like, oh, I really want to ask him about modular synths. I really, really do. You know, I'm like, okay, we got to wait for the right time. You know, so we're sitting and we're drinking and we're buying more drinks, right? And we're just kind of like calculating, like, okay, when's the right time to talk to Andrew Huang? You know, and then all of a sudden, boom! Andrew Huang breaks away from the pack, and he rolls, and he comes up, because he's going to come up and get a beer, right? And I go, Ryan, go, Ryan, go. And he swoops in, and he's like, Andrew Huang, nice to meet you, can I buy you a beer? And boom, there, connection made. He starts talking about modular synths, and Andrew Huang's eyes light up, and they're blah, 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 blah. Oh, you know, sine waves, blah, 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 you know, because that's what people who like modular synths talk about. And then I sort of like, you know, like sneak over, and Ryan's like, hey, this is my friend Ty. You know, oh, hey, Andrew Huang, nice to meet you. And it's like, you know, oh my God, it's Andrew Huang, And Ryan convinced him after a few beers to sit down on the Topless Robot podcast tomorrow and talk about modular synths. And so I'm like, hey, after you guys are done, could I like steal 5 minutes with you and just ask you a few questions I've been asking everybody? He's like, absolutely. Yeah, and he was super nice. I mean, he's Canadian, so like by law, I think he has to also be nice. So. But yeah, and I still haven't met Rob Scallon, right? And I'm sitting here, and it's like it's getting late, and it's just about last call, and then almost right at last call, who rolls up? Boom, Grandpa YouTube himself, right? And the funny thing is that I've been like introducing myself to all these people, and they all go, "Wait a minute, weren't you that guy who interviewed Sarah?" So like,
that was a good interview.
That was a great interview.
Yeah. So apparently everyone has watched that video.
Nice.
And the exact same thing. So Rob, you know, comes up. I'm like, hey, I'm a friend of Sarah's, blah, blah, blah. And we're talking. And he's like, you know, and we talk. You know, I say like, hey, if you're ever in Madison, you should come and like, you know, like hit me up and we'll get some beer. Like, do you like beer? And he's like, I love beer. And I'm like, well, I can take you to some amazing breweries, you know. He's like, oh, I go to Madison all the time and I hang with Wheezy Waiter, who is also a big YouTuber. And I'm like, oh, really? Right? And I'm like, well, let me give you my card. I give him the Lords of the Trident card, and he looks at it, and he's like, oh, you did that fucking interview with Sarah. That was amazing. And I'm like, you know, and I'm like, hey, you know, could I interview you tomorrow? I'm doing this thing when I've done it with Glenn and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah. How do I get a hold of you? And he's like, give me your phone. I hand him my phone. He puts his personal cell phone number in my cell phone. He's like, text me, whatever. And I'm like,
Rob Scallon on tap.
Yep.
boom. So
Winner.
That's cool.
the exact same thing happened with Glenn Fricker. I'm like, hey, can you sit down with me tomorrow? And he's like, sure. And, you know, how do I get a hold of you? Here, hand me your phone. So I've been texting Rob Scallon and Glenn Fricker, and I'm like, you know. So
It's all very exciting.
it was very exciting. Stocks were up. Stocks were way up that night.
Yeah.
Right? And I will report, Internet, that all of the people who gave me their number, Rob, Glenn, and coincidentally enough, Wheezy Waiter, have all either emailed me or texted me since then, and we are like
Hey.
talking. We're talking.
Nice.
So like stocks are up.
Cool, man.
So everybody in the chat, I want to see stock up emojis. I want everybody to just spam the chat with stocks are up emojis.
Stonks.
Because I want to
Yes.
see stonks. Right? So that was so that same night, Brian got a ticket to the Schechter party. You want to talk about that?
Hey Nate, thanks for joining us. Glad you like Bros of Kane.
Let me before you go into this, let me just preface this with like we wrap up our $250 fucking bar tabs, and we take an Uber back to the hotel or to the Airbnb. And I open the door, and the first thing I see is like clearly drunk Brian like this. Hey, and it's like pitch black in there, but it's just Brian at the door, just like, and I look at him, I'm like, you drunk? He's like, yep. So tell us what happened to make you so drunk.
So yeah,
Stonks!
I met up with some friends that I met a full 10 years ago when Luna came through LA. I met oh Jesus, now my brain is going. Her name is Beth. And so she saw that I was in town, and as it turns out, her boyfriend is a tech at Schechter. He levels frets and sets guitars up and inspects them before they go out. So they're like, hey, we could, we're going to go to the Schechter concert and party tomorrow night. You should come with us. And as it turns out, they were able to get me a ticket. So I ventured out kind of for my first time into the LA night without everybody, and ended up at outside this venue where where Black Label Society was headlining, and I didn't know anyone there, and I was standing around. She had a rehearsal that ran late, so she was a little late getting there, and I was like standing in the cold for a while, like quite a while, like just in line, but just like, and then the line starts moving, but I can't get in. I'm like, oh man, is this gonna work? And then I finally see her, and she's like, oh yeah, get the hell out of this line, like we got a VIP ticket for you. So we go all around and go in the VIP entrance, and then her boyfriend takes me back into the place. We get drinks and free drinks and free whiskey shots, and there I met Rusty Cooley and talked to him for a little bit. I didn't spend too much time talking to him because this party was more of a chill thing, and it was not like, as opposed to like a NAMM where you like, oh, you, I want a picture, and blah, blah, blah. It was just more of a like chilling. So I'm like, hey, dude, like, I have your shred guitar manifesto. Good work. And then I left him alone. Nick Johnston was there because he's a Schechter player, and he's a really one of these super kind good. Of new wave modern metal players who got all the technique and all the feels, and Zach Wild got up there and did Zach Wild stuff, and but no, overall it was a lot of fun. It was really cool, I got introduced to the president of Schechter.
No big deal, just the president.
It was fun. I also met a fellow there named Eric, and I've actually been meaning to. Eric Kluber. Did you guys ever play with a band called Gypsy Hawk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gypsy Hawk.
Gypsy Hawk, and
Now
Gypsy
they're
Hawk
Gygax.
turned into Gygax.
Yeah.
And I guess I can say this, since this is only the hardcore people are here. Gygax is on deck for Man of the Power 2021.
Okay.
I didn't even know that.
Yep, nobody did.
So I met this guitarist Eric, who was in Gypsy Hawk in 2000 and played Madison in 2012.
And I set that show up.
Long, like tall, blonde-haired dude,
Yeah.
kind of looks like Jeff Loomis a little
Yeah,
bit.
First bassist of Skeleton Witch. Fun fact.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Eric.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
So anyway, according to this, he is now the guitarist at a band called Void Vader.
Okay.
But anyway, I got to meet him, and I finally remembered to be like Gypsy Hawk. So the answer is yes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But no, Schechter party. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool. It was literally cool. It was not hot, warm, sunny California. That night it got down to about 50 degrees, and I didn't really dress properly for that. And even the whole time there, it maybe hit 70 once the whole 3-4 days.
Sunday
we were
was
there.
nice, but the rest of the time it was like 65.
Yeah, or all the way down to 50 at night when the sun went down. We got stonks.
Yeah, stonks are everywhere. Stonks are up. It was funny because all of the Californians were like, "Oh my god, it's so fucking cold." It was like 65, and I'm like, "This is amazing."
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you people?
Well, I mean, yeah, I was actually cold too, but it was not blizzarding there, so I'll take it.
Yeah. We did get to see Animals as Leaders on Thursday night with Toby Adobe.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, funny fact. Jeff, one of our Patreon backers and fans, ended up. So he went to the Abasi booth and he bought one of the Abasi guitars that was at the booth on Thursday, and then he gets a call like an hour later, and it's from the Abasi booth. And the guy's like, "Hey, this is a little awkward, but so Tosin, the guitar you bought, Tosin really wants to play that one tonight, like with Animals as Leaders on the main stage of NAMM. Like, is it? I know that you bought it, but is it okay if he uses it tonight?" And then he's like, yeah,
It's okay.
absolutely. You know, like, what is he gonna say? No, the guitar with your last name on the headstock. Like, no, it's mine now. You can't have
Do you
it.
have him sign it or anything if you wanted it signed?
I don't know, but it was
Kinda
like,
cool little token.
yeah.
I agree. That'd be
So,
cool.
yeah. So I mean, like, Saturday night was, all stocks were up. It was great. Sunday I was running around like these guys had already left. Sunday I was running
I was
around.
still there,
Oh yeah, that's right. You were there till
but
Sunday.
I was pretty thoroughly burned out at that point.
Yeah.
I listened to Roy's talk. Roy, by the way, is the reason we were there in the first place.
Yep.
So 1,000 thanks, all the thanks again to him.
Big thanks to Roy.
And-
Big thanks to broadjam.com for sponsoring us. If you guys are interested in getting your songs, music, etc., don't you mean the head stonk? Good. Very good. If you guys are interested in getting songs, music, whatever, placed in TVs or movies or TVs, in TV or movies or commercials, broadjam.com, you can put in your songs for placement. And they sponsored us going to NAMM. And I'd also make sure the eggs are okay.
Yeah, just checking. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they're in the SKB case. It's fine. Yep. Speaking of that, thanks to our other sponsors, SKB Cases, baby. Keep all your Fabergé eggs together. You could throw it across the room. All those eggs would be just fine. SKB Cases, the #1 case, is the only case we use. I want to thank Boss Meadery and Wheelhouse Whiskey for sponsoring us. And I also want to thank you, the viewer. People like you.
You're doing a great job.
YouTube is sponsored by people like you. And just a reminder, we're still $9 away from Aki's first White Claw ever. So if you want to see Aki drink a White Claw for the first time on live YouTube television...
You've honestly never had one before?
He's never had a White Claw.
Wow.
Hit that little $, throw in $1, $2, $3. We got to get to $10. We got $1 right now. If you get $10, Aki's first White Claw in his entire life. So throw in $1 and help us get there. Me running around like a freaking crazy person on Sunday, and then we got home, and that was about it. Right? Is anything else I'm missing about NAMM? There's a lot that happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was an hour, so I think you covered it.
All right. Sorry about that. So you know what? I've jabbed for long enough. These guys have jabbed for long enough. I know why people are here. Not just for the stonks, not just for Aki's White Claw experience, because you guys are waiting for Aki's cat picture of the month, and I'm gonna throw it. Did my $10 super chat not go through? I didn't see that, Troy.
No, I didn't know.
I'm looking through the chat. Nope, I only see one. Sorry, Troy, but if you want to send us $10 right now, then we will do it. I'm gonna grab the cat pick of the month. I'm gonna pull it up for these guys, and I am going to get it. Oh my God, Aki, that's a great one.
It was on screen, but not in the chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I didn't. I guess we didn't see it come through. Let me get this. Let me get this cat picture up. While we wait for me to do that, I think we better do something. You better, Brett.
You better.
What better we do, Brett?
Well, so you've been talking about all this NAMM nonsense and meeting famous people and such. I kind of wanted you guys to give your ideas on how you approach famous people in a situation like this, or in general, like what is like me and Perry Nilsson. I know you guys said you kind of kept your cool, but how do you approach famous people without seeming like a crazy person?
Whoa.
Oh, hey, here we go. We got it from Troy.
Whoa.
And from Josh. Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Troy.
Cheers.
Cheers to you guys. We're going to drink. I'm going to go get... so, first of all, let's all drink.
I actually need a drink. I'm
Okay.
all-
Yeah.
Well,
Smash
it's
that,
good.
Smash
It's
that
good.
drink button.
It's good because then we got to go get Aki a drink.
I think someone also asked Ty what race you play in D&D.
Oh, me? I'm usually either a bard or...
A race.
race. Gosh, I'm usually human. Just because, like, I personally feel like a jack of all trades. And I feel like humans are like the they kind of are they're good at everything, or they're okay at everything, and they're not like specifically good at any one thing in D&D. So like I usually play a human. I have played an elf once and a dwarf once. I just kind of prefer humans. I don't know. I feel it. In terms of class, I'm usually either a ranger or a bard. The bard is fun because I usually try to do it in character, so I will always be a drunken bard, so I'll like bring a full bottle of wine and just like go through it during a night, and then at the end I'm like, I charged in. Wait, what? I charged in and I'm gonna throw a spell at him. You don't do magic. Yeah, but I'm gonna try.
Is this still advice for how to talk to famous people?
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure that's what
I'm gonna throw a spell at you.
I'm Brian King. I'm really good at guitar.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go get Aki's first White Claw. Let me hear everybody else what their idea of talking to famous people.
Grab me a beer as well,
Yep.
sir.
Here's my 2 cents. Generally speaking, any famous person you meet really doesn't actually want to be fawned and drooled over. So yes, first move is try to play it cool. One thing that happens all the time at NAMM is you see someone and you want to talk to them, but they're inevitably talking to somebody else. And so you have to like kind of feel it out, like wait, but don't be creepy about waiting. Like stand aside and wait. Try not to stare at them.
Right.
And try not to stand too close. But then there's also usually someone else like who wants to talk to them too. Right. So then you have to kind of, vie for position that way too. Yeah. But so I don't know. It's if you can figure out what you're gonna say, like how you're going to start the conversation, that's really helpful.
Right,
so
like
you don't have to stand there and twitch idiotically.
Knowing the person and going in and like having an agenda almost. Yeah. Yep.
So take a deep breath. Realize that whoever this is, they're really just a dude. They're just another dude.
Yeah, that's something we've said multiple times. It's so you meet someone, you're like, he's just like when Corey Taylor was in our dressing room, just like, he's just a dude. So,
yeah.
Dude with a hat.
Did you get one of those?
What flavor is that?
No, I got you a regular beer.
Oh, nice.
Karen, each one.
Black
All right,
cherry.
so I want to hear what the chat wants Aki to drink. Either we got black cherry or we got raspberry. Vote now for your favorite first White Claw in his entire life. Is it going to be black cherry or raspberry? Let us know in the chat. Black cherry or raspberry.
Is it just like... is it just like a Clarbrune with alcohol in it?
Well,
yeah.
you're about to find out.
Okay.
Basically, yeah, it's just flavored seltzer water.
Do they use like vodka to make it alcoholic?
I don't think
great
so.
Question.
All right. Well, we're waiting.
Is it technically a malt beverage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add to the meeting of famous folk?
I always try to, like, just say something brief about, like, how I know them. Like, hey, man, I really like your videos. And then try not to come off as, like, a super creeper. You know, like ask him something that like a normal human would want to talk about.
Can I charge your phone? You want cold
Want
water?
cold water? Let me tell you all about the strip clubs in the area, buddy. Oh man! All right, so right now we've got black cherry, raspberry, black cherry. It's a tie. We got to have somebody break this tie. We got 2 for black cherry, 2 for raspberry. Somebody's got to break the tie in the chat. You can't vote. You're not in the chat, but if you grab the computer and typed, you could probably.
Yeah,
in the
you're
chat.
probably right.
I hope raspberry wins out.
Or you could just have the raspberry.
But, you know, like, people love talking about themselves, but these guys are sort of usually, like, experts at talking about themselves because they have to all the time.
Right.
So, like, the more normal you can seem and the more, like, not creepy, you know, I think the better for, like, for famous people.
Oh, your hair smells different today than it did last night when you were sleeping.
Yeah, exactly. Don't say that. Don't say that.
Do you think these guys are like? Do you think they get annoyed of people coming up to them all the time, or are they like, since they're at NAMM, they expect it and they're ready for it and happy for it?
I think both.
Yeah.
I think both. Yep. All right. Black cherry. Black cherry is the winner. So
I
Aki,
think that's the better of the choices.
Nobody breaks tie.
here is it. So I'll join you. I'll grab the
That's
raspberry.
right. That's
It's
right.
like, but they must use grain
Kenzie
alcohol or
is
something to
right.
make this alcoholic.
Ladies and gentlemen, live on the podcast for your pleasure and enjoyment. There are no laws currently on this podcast. We can kill a man and get away with it because now we are drinking the claws.
Let's watch.
Let's watch Aki's reaction. Everyone, a moment of silence,
Be
please.
like extremely underwhelmed.
Yeah, you're making me really uncomfortable.
Perfect.
Yeah. Don't you guys want to charge my cell phone or something?
All right, here we go.
My fingers. You're just making me laugh. Sorry. Okay. Oh, it doesn't even taste alcoholic.
Ah, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That was your $10 at work. It doesn't even taste alcoholic. The claw is the law.
No refunds.
No refunds.
You're right. It tastes pretty sweet. It's
Yeah, it's
like
than you
it just
expect it
kind of
to
tastes
be.
like a sweet cardroom.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Aki had an interesting anecdote about a famous person who I won't name, but he was in line behind you at like a food cart.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he like specifically said like,
Yeah.
"Holy shit, I'm tired and don't want to meet anyone."
Yeah.
And I thought that was, I don't know, I just found that.
Yeah. I was in line at a food cart.
He touched the butt.
Good.
It was Thursday night, I think. It might have been Friday. Thursday night. Yeah, it was
It's
Thursday night.
Thursday.
And I was waiting in line for some food, and they have these food carts outside of NAMM. And even though the food's overpriced, like, you know, people who know me know that like I'm like obsessed with food in restaurants.
You're a
and
foodie,
whatnot. Yeah. And like they actually had some pretty damn good food carts. They had like always signs on them being like, as featured on Food Network and Travel Channel and on Chopped. And I'm like, I love fucking Chopped. Oh my god, you know. And and I was waiting, and Tosin Abasi,
I'm not gonna name any names, but
Animals
Tosin
as
Abasi.
leader, Animals
name
as
any
leaders.
names.
He was right behind me, and I didn't want to say hi, but he was on a cell phone the whole time, but I had this moment without like talking to him where I could relate to him. Because he wasn't like mean or anything, but he was on a phone. He's like, I haven't slept at all. I haven't eaten. I don't want to talk or see anyone. And I was like, oh my god, that's just like us when we're on tour. We're all really fucking tired. We skip meals. And we're just like, god damn it.
And by us,
I just wanna stay
Aki
in the
primarily
green room.
means hockey.
Yeah.
You
But
know.
when you see their smiling faces, it's all worth it. Aki.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Pat's drunk. Got it.
Pat is drunk. Congratulations, Pat. Join us on the White
Thank
Claw.
you guys for the White
Thanks
Claw.
everybody for the
thank you.
donations. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, I've got the cat pick. I know everybody's been waiting with bated breath about the cat pick. I've got it. It's coming. If you're in the chat, here it comes. Click on this link for Aki's cat picture of the month. Aki's cat picture of the month, ladies and gentlemen. Here it comes. Boom. Aki, will you please let us know about this beautiful, gorgeous cat picture?
cat.
Supple.
Oh.
Yeah, cat picture.
Well, I thought this was pretty fitting because it's January and there's snow out and whatnot, and I think we've all been there where like if you have a cat and whatnot, and the cat like wants to go outside, and you're like all right, fine. You open the door and it's like raining or it's snow, and like the cat like looks at you and it's like, what the fuck,
Right.
and you're just like, you want it outside, and then they like stay in the door frame, and you're like, get the fuck out, yeah, and then
Not
they,
like
stay
this.
there. Yeah.
Not like this.
I love that his eyes go to that like as small as his irises can get.
Yeah, I
'Cause it's
noticed
really
that.
snow
They're
bright, yeah.
That
I'm just gonna ask
slit.
what that means. What does that mean? Are they feeling a certain way?
So
No,
I
it's
noticed
just light
bright out.
It's just like their
Yeah.
irises are just like ours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also, I do notice their irises, they tend to get larger when they're like intent on like an object or
Oh, yeah.
like a prey or whatnot.
Yeah, when we play with our cat at home, like Hagen, she'll like her eyes get so big even when it's bright out, like she's ready to pounce on something.
Yeah.
Huge. But yeah, that slit, it's like, how can they see through that? But they can.
Yep. Cool. Anything else to add about the cat picture?
I think that's it.
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, that was
Fine.
Aki's cat picture of the month.
Fine
Oh,
cat.
I didn't want to.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I did want to say one other thing. I really love it when like cats and dogs jump into snow that's deeper than they planned for.
Yeah.
And then only their like tail sticks up. And I feel like there's got to be a term for when like the cat or dog tail sticks out snow like a periscope. I really like that.
Yeah. All right. There you go. So that was NAMM. That was the cat picture. A few other, I know we're running a little late. We're running a little long. Everybody in the chat is like, shut up. Stop talking. We hate you. I get it. I understand. Stocks are down at the moment. but we'll
Easy come, easy go.
Easy come, easy go. We'll rifle through some of these. First and foremost, I want to let everybody know that tickets for Mad with Powerfest, now a 2-day extravaganza, August 14th and 15th here in Madison, Wisconsin. Arcade games, pinball, and power metal from all over the United States. Tickets for that will be going on sale this Saturday, February 1st. First thing in the morning, I think it's like 12:01 a.m.
What time zone?
CST, baby.
All right.
The only time zone. Central. Yep. I don't subscribe to any of those other non-Jesus time zones. Oh, stocks are down. Oh, no.
Well played,
Yeah,
Josh.
so...
Well played.
But it's going on sale February 1st, 12:01 a.m. CST for Patreon backers only. So we're going to have the tickets available from February 1st until the end of February, only for Patreon backers. So the people who are on our Patreon at any level, even $1, will be able to buy the tickets before anyone else and thus guarantee that they can come to the festival, because we sold out last year. I am 99% sure we're going to sell out this year. So if you are even halfway considering coming to Mad with Powerfest this year, which you absolutely should, get on the Patreon, patreon.com/Swords of the Trident, and grab your ticket. We will have links available. It'll auto-post at 12:01 a.m. first thing in the morning. Definitely grab a ticket. This year's going to be insane. It's 2 days. We just announced that Seven Kingdoms is going to be our Friday night headliner. We've got, Seven Kingdoms. Let's see if I can do all this, right? We got us. We got Paladin. We got Seven Kingdoms. We got Mind Maze. We got Master Sword. We've got Bit Brigade. We've got
Dire
Peril. Power Theory. Nightmare. Who am I missing? Who am I missing?
Us?
Us. Well, I said us already.
Okay. Listening.
But anyway,
The to-be-announced headliner.
the to-be-announced headliner, and man, I got a story about that, but I can't talk about it right now. Find me at a show, and I will just unload about that. But
Is that High Noon Saloon again?
High Noon Saloon.
Awesome.
Go to madwithpowerfest.com. We have a bunch of ticket packages available. Gold and silver and sponsorship VIPs and regular stuff and 1-day and 2-day tickets. It's going to be off the charts. It's going to be amazing. When are you guys coming to Dallas? Says Schwarzensmalls. We are actually, that's a great segue, because we are actually planning a Southwest tour in December of this year, and I actually think that Dallas is day 2. It's somewhere in Texas. I'm pretty sure it's Dallas.
Don't mess with Texas.
So we're gonna go mess with Texas. We're gonna be
polite, respectful way.
Yeah, we're gonna mess in a very we're gonna consensually mess with Texas.
Yes.
We'll say here's your safety word. Let me know when you've had enough messing.
We're in our 30s now. We're going to respect your boundaries.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, in December we're doing a West Coast and South tour. Oh, now she comes up.
She climbed up on your side?
It's like
Yeah.
the third time in 10 years that Michi's ever done this.
Fed her so many treats and I got claws in my thumb.
I know. And she goes over there.
Don't mess with Texas.
All right, you can
Stomp.
see that in the face.
Yeah, it's great.
But we're gonna do we're doing Texas.
Michi.
We're doing
We're fun.
Arizona, New Mexico, California. We're doing a bunch of dates in California. We're doing Utah. We're doing Colorado. We're basically gonna make a sort of a straight dip south, go all the way across over to California, and then kind of come halfway up and come all the way back. That's going to be in December 2020, so at the end of the year. And of course, I see Jinx is in the chat. We're playing Memphis, with you coming up in September. So that's going to be fun.
Dream of Californication.
Yep. Love to see
By
the
then, we're going to be a Chili Peppers cover band. Sorry.
Right. At the Machine Shop in Flint, Michigan. Well, Maryland, we're playing in April. We're playing Chicago, and then we're going to Kalamazoo, April 17th and 18th. So if you can make it out to either the Chicago show or the Kalamazoo show, it'd be great to see you there. What about Colorado? We are going to be playing probably Fort Collins, maybe Denver, but we have a lot of friends in Fort Collins, so we're probably going to do Fort Collins. And, every time we go to Fort Collins, we go to the dispensary, and then we just turn into a reggae band for the night, So it's like...
And Brazil, that we're heading down there straight from California.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
We're walking the whole way.
Yeah, we're
Ty
basically.
and Aki overeat the edibles. Recommend.
Oh, that's a whole story. That's a whole
One
story.
of the worst nights of my life.
Wouldn't recommend it. Wouldn't recommend it.
Don't ever trust the guy with blonde dreadlocks.
Yeah,
I never forgot what
if
he
a
said.
guy with blonde
Don't ever forget what
dreadlocks
he
tries
said.
to sell you weed in a legal state, just don't ask for a different person. Yeah, you guys could totally probably have a whole 100 gram chocolate bar each. Okay, sure, cool. North Korea.
Pyongyang, yeah, that's 2022, I think.
Oh yeah, 2022 is Pyongyang. We're working on that. We gotta get. We actually have been talking to Brucey, Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden, to fly us out there because he has a pass. Because they go everywhere. So
Yes. Brian and Aki go to Wizard Witch.
White Castle. Yeah. So we got that. Next. Hi, Kitty. Next weekend.
Kitty stonks are down.
Yep. Next weekend we are gonna be. Next weekend we're gonna be in Milwaukee. If you pat her on her butt, she'll leave. You can't.
Huh?
Yeah, she's good on the head, but not on the butt. That's quote of the night.
Quote on the head now.
Yeah. Next weekend we're going to be in Milwaukee with Conniption and Steel Iron at the X-Ray Arcade. It's an all-ages show.
Yep.
Really excited about playing with Conniption again.
So,
Been a
yeah,
while.
the new bassist, Chad Novel, he actually played bass in the final ever Luna Mortis show. For Luna Mortis. He, during 2013, Luna got back together for 2 shows. One of them was in Madison and one was in Chicago. And for the Chicago show, Chad stepped up, learned the parts really fast, and played bass for that show. So great to see him doing the metal.
Yeah.
And it'll be great to split a bill with him again.
Doing the metal.
Yeah. And if anybody even thinks for one quick second that they can take Brian on in Mortal Kombat, think again, because I've seen this guy beat the entire game on 1 quarter, and no, I'm sorry, you better be pretty damn good if you want to step to this guy. Okay, I can't even beat him.
So if someone, say hypothetically, someone was able to fatality me, what would they have in store?
If someone was able to actually beat you in Mortal Kombat and fatality you for real, I mean, you would it would be like cutting Samson's locks.
Let me try again.
You'd have to convert.
Let me try again. How would Lords of the Trident as a band might reward said individual?
Gold bricks. Yeah, we give you gold bricks. We'd let you into the storeroom. And we'd let you take as many gold bricks as you can carry.
I'll sign your forehead.
Which is only one.
And he doesn't sign shit, so that's pretty important.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you have something specific in mind?
Well, I don't know. Maybe like
or something.
Yeah, or like
you could go backstage and watch us change and go like, that's fine. I didn't want to see that. That's fine. It's okay.
I don't know. Maybe if like we could hook them up with some kind of swag or something.
Okay, how about this? How about this? If you beat here's the thing. If you beat Brian in Mortal Kombat at any show that there's a Mortal Kombat arcade machine, if you can beat him at Mortal Kombat, we will give you a Metal Kombat shirt for free. Any size.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yep. And that is hereby instituted from now until eternity. Right?
Nice.
So when we're 65, if you're coming out and you're like, there's a Mortal Kombat machine over in the corner, would you like to play as Scorpion or Liu Kang? Then this is, I remember when I was 14 and my mom said I couldn't play this. So, yeah. This is what we're going to sound like at 65. This next one's called Knights of Dragon's Deep. Oh, my dentures came out. Oh, God. So.
What about his guitar? What about my guitar?
Yeah, what about his guitar? Yeah. You're not getting any of his guitars. You actually have to beat him in shred to get his guitar. It's like, when you beat the Master Swordsman, which is like, you might beat him in Mortal Kombat, you're not going to beat him in guitar. I'm just saying that right now. Not going to happen. So, anyway. That's coming up. We played Mead and Metal.
That ruled.
And that ruled. And I debuted my new armor, which I made out of half a cow. I bought half a cow on Black Friday and made some armor, and it was really comfortable. It worked really well. It articulates. It's nice.
Hey,
I'm
sorry. Are we debuting a new song in Milwaukee?
Oh shit, we're debuting a new song in Milwaukee.
Oh yeah.
So
we decided that.
Yeah, we decided that a couple of hours ago. We got a new song that we are playing at the X-Ray Arcade with Connection.
This one slaps.
Yeah,
it does.
It's a banger. It's a hard banger.
Hardly know her.
This entire set is going to be like,
yeah.
The people will have to catch this in the replay. Sorry, our internet died or something happened. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but real quick, we played Mead and Metal. We got brand new songs.
We packed the place.
The place was completely
hit the limit,
packed.
That ruled.
There was like a waiting list to get in. It's like we'll text you when somebody leaves.
List?
Yeah, there was like a texting waiting
we were at
list.
max capacity.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So anyway, we got that. We got new songs coming out. We are hard at work on the new album. We've been playing a bunch of the new songs, and that's been going really well. We got the acoustic album almost done. That's going to be coming out very soon. A bunch more stuff coming out on the Patreon, and that's about it. So,
are they still getting? They must still be getting audio.
No, they're not. They're not getting it. I'm going to say sorry, all. The stream farted and died.
Ist kaputt. The stream's kleine Hose
ist
kaputt.
I will finish the Trident, the cast, we'll say, and put it up on the tubes. So anyway, this is for all of you wonderful people in the chat. F to pay your respects. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you. I want to give a big shout out once again to SKB Cases,
okay?
Boss Meadery. What?
You okay?
Oh no, I'm just very tired.
Oh, okay.
He's really tired. SKB Cases, Boss Meadery, Wheelhouse Whiskey. White Claw, thank you for your sponsorship. We really appreciate it. And broadjam.com. For the last word tonight, it's going to be Brian.
Wait, you say that.
I was just thinking of a good one too. You shit your pants when I'm talking to you.
Good night.